What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Okay, so we're talking about these collector pack leaks that, well, these were leaked yesterday. I actually meant to make this video. I should have went up around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, but I was having all sort of computer problems, and then the Wizards were playing. I was trying to watch up on the Capitals game too, and it was just like too much of a clusterfuck to even, try and get the video up at that time. Like, it would have ended up coming out after midnight. I don't post videos generally after 11 p.m. So anyways, looks like we're getting even more Red Eye support. Now, I don't know if this stuff is going to be in Dragons of Legends, or if Konami might somehow try and get this into like Clash of Rebellion. It would make sense to get it into Dragons of Legends because that set already has confirmed Toon support, so it kind of just makes sense. But Clash of Rebellion is like the big Red Eye set, so either way, I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing this fairly soon in the TCG, because a lot of this support is going to be here within 3-4 months. So anyways, first card we're looking at is the Knight of the Dark Dragon. Now, as soon as I saw this, I was like, son, that's Paladin of White Dragon, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that that's the same exact card. The only difference is, and this actually looks like Blue Eyes White Dragon, it just looks like it's black. It looks like they just really duplicated the card. Now, I think Paladin of White Dragon came out in best guess Dark Crisis. If I'm wrong, you guys just let me know. I see that it's a level 4. It looks like an ultimate rare. 1900 attack, 1200 defense. I know for a fact that that is the same attack as the Paladin of White Dragon. I don't know if he had 1200 defense. I'm just gonna assume that he did. I'm gonna assume that it has the same exact stats. The effect number 1, or actually, let's just read the summoning conditions. Can be ritual summoned by Dark Dragon Ritual. You can only use the 2 effect of Dark Dragon once per turn, or excuse me, Knight of Dark Dragon once per turn. Effect number 1, at the start of the damage step, when this card attacks a defense position monster, destroy that target. Okay, so effect number 1, like, it's just practical enough for you to be like, I'm not, I might use that 1 out of every 3 times that I summon this card. In the year 2015, people do sometimes still stall with monsters like Shikanaga and whatnot, so they put monsters with high defense and defense mode, and sometimes you get like a Colossalus or something like that. Colossalus wouldn't be able to can't really stop this card, because I think Colossalus is only negates monsters from the extra deck. So I could see that effect being useful maybe like 1 out of every 3 or 4 turns or times that you actually summon this card. The real reason you want to use this card is for effect number 2. Effect number 2 is just fucking bonkers. Effect number 2, you contribute this card, special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from your hand or your deck. Okay, you may use the hand effect every once in a while. As soon as I saw from the deck, I was like, fucking Jesus, because it means that you can summon Red Eyes Metal Darkness Dragon, and then you could just reborn this card back. So it's almost like you get to summon this card and then get a Red Eyes for free, and you're immediately paid back from your investment. Like, the thing about this card is that I noticed about the second time that I read it, this is not a Nami monster. This is not a Nami monster like the Necros cards. Like, the Necros monsters, if you look at Brio or Trishula, they all say, they have to be summoned by a Necros ritual spell and cannot be special summoned by any other ways. This guy doesn't say that, which means that if you ritual summon this card first, it is considered to be properly summoned. You can then just Red Eyes Metal Darkness Dragon it back. You can soul charge it back. You can call up the Haunted, but getting Red Eyes Metal Darkness and then summoning this back just seems like a really good loop. It kind of reminds me of Light Pulsar plus Red Eyes, like back in the day of like the Chaos Dragon format. So this effect number 2 is really good, and it made sense when I thought about that combo as to why they made it once per turn. Alright, so next card up, and this is obviously the ritual spell to summon said Red Eyes. Is that freaking is that Greffer? Is that like I think his name is Warrior Dai? How many cards is that dude on? Now he's doing like he's performing rituals and shit. Like, my goodness, this dude is like one of the oldest cards in the game. I think he's from like Legacy of Darkness or something like that, but he's been on like 500 cards. This is the Dark Dragon Ritual. Alright, so can be used to summon Knight of the Dark Dragon, the card that we just looked at right there. And it says ritual summon 1 Knight of the Dark Dragon by tributing monsters you have, or excuse me, you control or have in your hand, whose total levels add up to 4 or more. Okay, so I mean, that's like just the most basic ritual summoning conditions ever. Just give up 4 or more stars from your hand or from the field. Even if you give up a Red Eyes, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, to be honest, this deck should pump out Red Eyes like it's nothing, especially with things like Blackstone of Legend. Effect number 2, and this is the reason why you'd even consider playing this. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add 1 Red Eye spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You cannot activate this effect during the turn that this was sent to the graveyard. So essentially, you can summon your Black Dragon Knight. Then you can get another, you can tribute it, get a Red Eyes Metal Darkness Dragon, use its effect, get this card right back, and then during your next turn, you can just search out a free copy of Red Eyes Fusion. I mean, it seems really, really good. The fact that Konami is now putting like additional effects into every ritual cards, it tells me that like rituals are going to be a thing for a while, which is crazy because they were irrelevant for literally like 5 years where rituals were just like no one gave a shit about them. Probably from like 2008 to like 2014, like rituals just didn't do shit. They were just not good. Like they weren't a factor from Gladiator's Assault to shit now basically. And then we will we'll look at another Red Eyes card. This is Red Eyes Burn. It's misguided effort, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's that good. It's a normal trap card. You can only activate 1 Red Eyes Burn per turn. If a face-up Red Eyes monster you control is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can target 1 of the destroyed monsters. Each player takes damage equal to that monster's original attack. Again, it's kind of like Inferno Fire Blast. It's a big burn card, but I mean, the deck's win condition, even though the deck does do some burn damage, like that's not really the core. Like, that's not the core win condition. I mean, maybe you hit this and you hit the fusions effect, like back to back or something like that. You burn your opponent for, who knows, maybe like 5,000 damage in a turn, but it just doesn't really seem that consistent to me. You know what I mean? Like, you have to wait for a Red Eyes to die just to be able to activate this card and then just hope that that burn damage is enough. And since you can only use 1 per turn, I don't think you'd ever want to run more than 1 of this, you know. Maybe this is like a 1-up or something like that, but I would stay far away from this card, to be honest. Next up, we have our Toon support. Toon Rollback. This is a normal spell card. It says target 1 Toon monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. I don't even understand why they made this card. Like, just, you don't win games with raw damage. Again, this is just another card that honestly just should have been a continuous spell. I know that you could use it with Toon Gemini Imps or Toon, you know, like Mass Sorcerer to get their effects twice, but if you resolve their effects once, you're probably way ahead anyway. So this is a card where it's a neg 1, and if you get hit with a battle trap, you go neg 1 and lose your monster, and you just, I don't know. I don't think that this card is, it's not a practical card. Like, I don't think that this card is good in any sense. If it was a continuous spell, maybe I could have given it a second look, but it's too much of an investment for not enough like reward, to be honest. Next up, we have Shadow Toon. It's a normal spell card. You can only activate 1 Shadow Toon per turn. If you control Toon World, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that target's current attack. This one, again, I don't understand what's up with all the random burn cards. I thought that it should have killed the monster. Some people might have said, well, Cap, that's like way too broke. Then basically it's a spell version of Ring of Destruction. And I get that it would have been, but the thing is, it is only a 1 per turn effect. I mean, I don't know. This seems like a card where everything has to be going right in the duel for you to be able to use it correctly and like properly. Like, yeah, if you get a Toon Cyber Dragon and you've been attacking your opponent like 3 times directly and you happen to rip this card while you still have like, you know, Toon Kingdom on board, and you burn their Necros of Valkyries, you know, for like 2,900, then it works out. But like, this card requires you to get a whole bunch of battle damage in to make it really like worth it. Now this card, I think this is the good one. Yeah, Toon Briefcase is actually the pretty good one. This is a normal trap. When your opponent summons a monster while you control a Toon monster, shuffle that monster into the deck. This card's actually pretty legitimate. I mean, kind of like a a mix between Bottomless Trap Hole and like Compose. I like it a little more than both of those cards because you don't have to worry about the anti-destruction monsters. Like if your opponent summons a Stardust or something that would trigger if it went to the graveyard, or even if it was banished, or if your opponent had like, you know, a hand trap like a Gungnir that could protect against destruction, then obviously something like Bottomless wouldn't be as good. But I mean, something like this is, I mean, it's damn hard to stop spinning to the deck. And also, I don't think that this targets, because it just says when your opponent summons monster or summons a monster, you don't actually pick the monster. It's just whatever summons. So this card doesn't target either, which is also pretty damn good because you can use it against like Yazzie, or you can use it against like a Leo or something like that. So this card seems really good. The one problem is it can't get rid of monsters that are already on the field. So, and you have to keep your Toon on the field as well. This could be a legitimate, maybe a 1 or 2 of I would definitely run at least 1 copy of it. But the other 2 cards, not so much. This card definitely looks playable, and I think that the Red Eyes Ritual looks very good, mainly because of that derpy combo, and because the Ritual spell just, it gets you free advantage. Like as soon as it hits the graveyard, you know that you're going to be able to get a free card out of it during your next turn, and that's something I definitely like. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.